There is an unprecedented shift of consciousness taking place within the hearts and minds of humanity. People all over the world are beginning to awaken, and when they do, they are able to see with new eyes and hear with new ears. With this enhanced insight, people realize that they are not just the victims of circumstance. They are the co-creators of circumstance. In fact, all of us have at one time or another co-created the learning experiences we are going through. Even though we may not fully understand how or why we co-created a particular learning experience, the truth is that at some level, we have all agreed to experience the lessons that are now manifesting in our lives. When people are going through really challenging things, there's probably nothing that makes them angrier than to have someone tell them that at some level they have co-created or agreed to experience the particular situation they are in. I felt the very same way when I became aware of this concept. My first response was to vehemently reject it. I ran into problems, however, when I searched for another viable answer as to why things were happening the way they were in my life. No matter where I looked, this same principle, which is most commonly referred to as the law of the circle, kept presenting itself over and over again. In Eastern religions, this principle is referred to as the law of cause and effect, or the law of karma. In Judaism, it is stated as an eye for an eye, or a tooth for a tooth. The complete statement should have been an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a hug for a hug, or a kiss for a kiss, so that we would see the whole picture. In Christianity, this principle is reflected in the statements, "We reap what we sow," and "When we cast our bread upon the water, it returns to us." In the field of science, the law of the circle is described as like attracts like, action and reaction, and radiation and magnetization. In the mystery schools and metaphysical studies, this familiar principle is described as the out-breath and the in-breath of God. In simple terms, the law of the circle dictates that what we send out through our thoughts, words, feelings, and actions must return to us. Therefore, at any given moment, our lives are reflecting the sum total of whatever it is that we have created through our past thoughts, words, feelings, and actions. Just contemplate that statement for a minute. At any given moment, our lives are reflecting the sum total of whatever it is that we have created through our past thoughts, words, feelings, and actions. This profound truth applies to every man, woman, and child, whether our behavior during our various earthly sojourns was deliberate or inadvertent. How is that for an awesome responsibility? We have all heard the statement, "The truth will set you free." Now I fully understand why people have modified that statement to say, "The truth will set you free, but first it will make you very angry." After a great deal of searching and self-examination, I realized that I was not going to make any progress unless I dealt with my resistance to the concept of the law of the circle. I decided that the most palatable way of shifting my attitude was to just accept this universal law as a possibility. So I said to myself, what if it is true? What if I can change the things that are happening in my life by improving my behavior and changing the way I am thinking, feeling, speaking, and acting? This may seem far-fetched, but when I decided to accept the law of the circle as a possibility and corrected my behavior patterns, things began to shift in my life in a very positive way. Instead of feeling defiant and angry about the challenges in my life, I started feeling empowered and hopeful. It became very clear to me that if indeed I had created the things that were happening in my life, then I could change them. I did not feel the need to beat myself up with guilt or shame for the things that were occurring in my life. Somehow, I knew that would just make things worse. I had the inner knowing that all I needed to do was to start focusing on what I wanted to co-create in my life instead of worrying about the things that I did not like about my life. With that understanding, I no longer felt like a helpless victim that was being buffeted about by the winds of happenstance. I felt empowered with a determination and a deep commitment to change my reality. This shift of consciousness and attitude transformed my life. What is important for all of us to realize is that the law of the circle is a universal law that we are all subject to in this physical plane, whether we believe it or not. Think of it as being like the law of gravity. It is immaterial whether or not we believe in the law of gravity. No matter how much we denounce or reject the law of gravity, if we jump off of a roof, we are going to fall to the ground. The law of this circle is the same. No matter how oblivious we are to the fact that we are co-creating our reality through our thoughts, feelings, words, and actions, this is occurring scientifically to the letter with every breath we take. I'm going to share with you information that is being given to humanity by the beings of light in the realms of illumined truth. These celestial sharings reveal a new order of healing that is now available to all humanity. This new frequency of healing light will help us to heal, rejuvenate, and transform our physical, etheric, mental, and emotional bodies. During our time together today, I would like for you to open your heart and mind and set aside all of the preconceived notions you have about the challenges you are experiencing in your earthly bodies. Listen to these words and ask the presence of God within you to help you tangibly experience the truth of this information as it resonates in your heart. What I am sharing with you is a gift of divine grace from our Father, Mother God. This gift involves an unprecedented opportunity for us to heal the maladies manifesting in our physical, etheric, mental, and emotional bodies. The divine intent of this merciful act of divine intervention is to assist you and me and every person evolving on this planet to quickly move through the physical challenges we are experiencing, so that we can focus our attention on fulfilling our highest divine potential as beloved sons and daughters of God. This is one of those unique situations where, by participating in this glorious activity of healing light, you have everything to gain and nothing to lose.